Welcome back to our Bluesy Water channel. I'd like to discuss today treating the brain with Brown's gas therapy. We have some recent videos, so please watch them. We go over the applications, why it's important to breathe the maximum amount of gas, and issues like explosion. So this is all covered in our recent videos. Bottom line is you want to get a maximum amount of gas into the body, and the gas is always leaking out. So it's not stored in the body like with oxygen. So we want to really saturate the body all the time. And we want to do this therapy for long periods of time because you're breathing in small amounts at a time. So time is really your biggest asset. So when it comes to treating the brain, I want to go over several approaches. Number one, some of this comes from my experience with other therapies. There's a therapy for brain healing called photobiomodulation. It's red light therapy. You're actually treating the skull and you're actually going up the nose with an intranasal device. Now, one would ask, how does that get to the brain? Well, the bottom line is the mucosal lining, it goes right through there, through the blood-brain barrier, straight up into the brain. There's another therapy called ear insufflation ozone therapy, which is, you can Google this, ear insufflation ozone therapy for treating the brain. But it goes, you can basically, this is common sense. There are holes in the body that go to the brain, and the nose is one through the mucosal lining. The ears shoot straight in, and if you get the gas if you permeate the gas through the ears, you get to the brain. People use this for microbial infections in the brain with ozone. So the third method is through the eyes directly. The gas can go through the eyes and get to the brain. Now, the main two are the nose, the ears. Now, with hydrogen, there's a third one. Just like red light therapy goes through the skull, hydrogen is extremely permeable, so you can actually do direct application on sections of the head getting to the brain. So if you have inflammation in a certain section of the brain, let's say it's here, then you're going to use, depending on where the inflammation is, you're going to do very direct with this applicator. Now, if you're up, there's one very important principle with hydrogen. Once it leaves this hole, it goes straight up. Now, if you're sealed to the skull like this, you're trying to treat the frontal lobe, you need to lie down or tilt your head down. If you're trying to treat here, then you need get your head on, get on your side. Just imagine wherever you're treating, you want essentially to make sure, knowing that the hydrogen is going to go straight up. So if you're under here, it's going to go straight up. Just get your body at the right angle. So if you have a headache, lie on your back. If you're trying to treat the front of the head, lie in the front, or lean forward, the side, again, lie on your side. Just imagine a balloon on a string coming out of this hole. Balloon up. So if you're going this way, it's still going to go up. So you got to get your body in the proper position so it's going up and your body's in the direct path of that string to the balloon. Okay, so you can just simply, if you have a local area, if you have a headache, a migraine, your nose hurts, get it straight here. Now make sure it's sealed and make sure you're in the right position. Second application is what we do mostly. We want to do this for long periods of time. It's the nasal cannula. I do this all night long, every night. And again, if you get this therapy at a good therapeutic threshold, you have a variable output machine. I use mine actually at 50% at night, and I feel quite a bit of benefit because I don't want to use up as much. Kind of silly. I should run it at 100%, but then you have to refill the machine a little more often. So I would suggest running it at 100, but 50 for me seems to work very well, and I'm doing it obviously for 8 hours. Now, again, it's going straight up into the nose. It's going to go through the mucosal lining into the brain. Now, it's also obviously this is the number one thing we do with Brown's gas therapy is we breathe it. and it's going to go through the lungs and distribute through the body, but you will get hydrogen going through the mucosal lining and helps with brain inflammation. Now, obviously, if you have a headache or you have brain inflammation and you're doing this in the day, crank it up to 100%, see how you feel. The applicator, see how you feel. Now, the third application comes directly from ozone therapy called ear ozone insufflation. Now, you want to try all these methods if you're getting a lot of brain issues, particularly if you have, I've had people call me with horrible inflammation, Parkinson's, you name it. So you really want to try all of this. With ozone ear insufflation, you're using a stethoscope and you're running the ozone at a gamma of about 1/8, or sorry, you're running an output on the machine with a regulator set at 1/8. It's a fairly concentrated amount of ozone. And if you are struggling with any kind of brain issues, I recommend both this hydrogen therapy and the ozone ear insufflation. Now you have to be very careful with the ears with ozone because you have to break in. They're going to ooze, they're going to itch. There's a lot of discharge until you acclimate. And you have to go for short periods of time at the beginning. Now with the hydrogen, this is not the case. You can pretty much just seep the gas through the ears and just keep going. Now I notice if you have a lot of inflammation in the brain, it takes about a half hour where you feel significantly better. Okay, now again, the gas does go straight up, but if it's pretty snug in the ear, it's going to probably follow the path of least resistance. It's almost like this is an extension of the tubing. So it's going to go through the tubing of your brain. So you can try this direct. Some's going to leak out and go up. Depends how snug it is. With ozone, you don't want it snug. Now, the other simpler way, again, since the gas goes straight up, you could just simply lie on your side and plug up one hole. Now, again, you can take the applicator and try it against the ear, lie on your side. You want to put a cloth over it, you can do that. This is pretty comfortable for me. So you can do either one. So again, it's going to go straight up. So you can just try the applicator. If you're sitting down, what's nice about this is you can sit and do things. You don't have to lie down to do this. So simply put in the stethoscope. You will get a significant amount just sitting up. If it's, and make sure it's pretty snug. If you really want to be more, precise about it, you could lean to the one side. But now again, you can't do things and literally plug one hole, so 100% goes through the hole that's where you're lying on your side. So try all these applications. Try direct through the skull. And remember, this is very, very saturated. This is direct application. If you want to treat, for instance, your heart, just put it in the back of your heart, lie down, make sure it's flush. The key is that this applicator is flush, so it has to go through that area. It's going to go straight up. So again, make sure you got your pathway right. Okay, so try them all. The ear insufflation, the stethoscope, the direct application through the ears. You can do that with the applicator, direct application to the skull, and then just the simple breathing up the nose through the mucosal lining. Okay, so try these methods, these three approaches. And if you have any questions regarding this therapy whatsoever, please contact me, Andrew at blueseawater.com. Thank you.